Apparently, Wizards of the Coast continues to be oblivious to what is happening with Magic the Gathering right now. Players are banding together, and the results are staggering. Players continue to attack Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast with the best weapon they have available, their pocketbook. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on my channel today. We are only 150 subscribers away from getting to that 14,000 subscriber mark. Thanks again, everyone who's hitting that subscribe button, giving my videos a thumbs up, which helps me reach a wider audience, and of course, leaving comments in the comments section. To my regular viewers who tune in each and every day, as well as my Patreon members and my YouTube membership members who support the channel, guys. Being able to share and talk with you guys each and every day is the experience of a lifetime for me. It is never a dull day at Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, or Magic the Gathering in general. Deborah Thomas, the CFO of Hasbro, that is the Chief Financial Officer. She reports directly to the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer. Her responsibilities included the financial direction of the company, strategic planning, strengths and weaknesses in their product lines. And after 24 years, she's decided to retire. She'll remain on now until they find a replacement. What a great time to get out. Wizards of the Coast, you need to master a new skill. That skill is called listening. Listening to what the players are telling you. Do you understand that? Listening. How hard can that be? In most jobs, we have to listen each and every day to the higher-ups above us, as well as the customer base below us. It's a very interesting concept, I understand, having to learn a new skill like listening, but it's where we're at, and let me explain. When you take a look at Brothers War coming out right now, should be a phenomenal product. I love the look of it. I've been to some pre-releases this weekend with Mini Mox and myself. We had a blast playing it, okay? Great times for all. Half those releases were empty, 50% or less. Do you think the store is not going to eventually mention that to a distributor? And then that distributor is going to mention that back to Wizards, and Wizards can bring that to Hasbro? That's called listening, to understand what's happening. Did anyone ask you for Jumpstart for every single edition you're putting out? Did we ask for Jumpstart Dominaria? Did we ask for Jumpstart Brothers War? Are you going to do a Jumpstart on top of Jumpstart? You see where I'm going with this? We didn't ask for those products, and I don't know where your marketing came. I mean, the CFO is leaving. Who knows what they were thinking at that point? But nobody asked you for it that I can recall. Nobody asked you to do it. You just tried to lead us down those paths. And now that players are opening their eyes and paying attention to what's going on out there, I have never seen the player base more engaged with each other in anger than I have now. I've never seen it in my entire career of playing Magic the Gathering, and I've been here since the beginning. And I think the idea that Wizards has to listen and pay attention to us as players band together to say, we're done, no more. Think about the Brothers War, the collector boxes. They heard players say they wanted fancier things at some point. But nobody asked for the collector's box project to be made. That was them taking an idea we had as players and branching out into a whole new product to make money. Instead of blending that product into a draft box to maybe give us a harder to get card or maybe a different framework once in a while, not every time, and run it into the ground till it becomes an explosion and flames and nobody wants to buy it as the card quality sucks, the product goes down the hill and nobody touches it. I love this stuff when it goes on, because it makes me realize how far the game has come from where I first started playing in 1993-94. Crazy times have been there. And these mistakes, they do happen periodically, and Wizards will turn things around. But if they actually listen to the player base, maybe did some polls, asked some questions, did some focus groups, hired a decent PR company, maybe we wouldn't have this going forward. Maybe the schedule wouldn't be so cramped in their urge to make money and the desire to drive this name brand, Magic the Gathering, into the ground. This billion-dollar brand, your billion-dollar idea, Magic the Gathering. And what are you doing with it? How are you expanding the growth of your player base, engaging your players in a proactive and positive way that makes the players want to speak positively about your game and engage new players and attract new audiences? Do you think just hiring some famous people and saying, look, they play Magic, do you think that really buys everything? Think about Clash of Clans when they had like Danny Trejo and those guys playing on those commercials. Did that make me want to play Clash of Clans more? Or is that a signal that the game was starting to die? Think about that. Think about that stuff, guys. Because when you go forward and we see this game as its history continues to unfold, there will be more changes. There will be more curves in the road. And in their desire to try to drain more money from us, the players that are out there that care are only going to interconnect more to form a blockade wall of saying, not our wallets, not this time. Like I've said, I haven't seen players this acutely aware of what Wizards is doing. The pre-orders were down across the board for Brothers War. We have Jumpstart 2022 coming up, and not many people even care about the product. Because it's a rehash of reprints that nobody cares about, and because they're not protecting the value of the reprints that they put in that set, nobody wants to buy it. Jumpstart, dying down. Then you've got other sets we said like Dominaria Remastered. They can't save that product. It's going down the tube. It's going to sit there. And it doesn't mean that this isn't a decent product that our players want to enjoy, right? That other people like myself don't want to buy and crack with some friends. What it means is you've upset so many players that they are actually banding together and not buying it. They're talking in groups like they did at my pre-release. And they said, oh, we're enjoying the pre-release. We're going to buy some singles. And that's it. At a couple of the stores I dealt with and talked with, do you know the sales are down 65% and holding for anything from Brothers War? And the pre-orders overall are down almost 70% from where they were a year ago. And probably about 30% from Dominaria United. Like it has been trending down anyway as the environment around our world becomes more difficult. But people who have difficult times are still focused on one focal point of anger. And they're not going to say it's just rising prices for gas or food. They're choosing to blame Hasbro. Because I can't control gas. I can't control my food bill. I can control what discretionary spending I have left. And instead of choosing to go to a movie, I want to go to an F&M. I want to go and enjoy some time with my friends playing Magic for a day or two. I want to crack some packs and have a good time. And when Hasbro and Wizards make that more difficult, they're not listening. If anything, hold the line on their prices or make it cheaper. Make it more affordable to your audience base so they actually are pleased with what you're doing and they'll continue to support you. So your sales don't drop so much. So your stockholders don't go, man, maybe we're getting close to being a buyout target because our stock keeps dropping. Wizards isn't listening. They're tone deaf. Whatever you want to say. They don't actually get what's going on as much as players are trying to explain it to them. As much as it's going on YouTube content creators like myself, as much as it's going on with the Taco Kings channel. Read those comments out there. Read what's going on. And you have other people who do want to sell the product. There are people who are hoping to make some money doing this. And they put some money out, they get some product into their store, and it's a ghost town because nobody's buying it. Now, I know some of the Brothers War did sell, especially the set boosters. That was the highest selling one that I heard about. But it's still overall, sales are so low. I knew a store that only ordered 2 of the collector boxes, okay? Guess how many packs they sold? Pause the video if you need to. 3 over the whole weekend. I got a text last night. 3. And this isn't because it's not a good product or there's not good cards in the set or it won't be fun to play. It's that there's not enough value in those collector packs to bother opening right now. Shocking to hear, isn't it? There's not enough value. There's not enough cards worth anything to make you want to open packs at that price. And as Wizards starts figuring this out in Q4 and Q1 of 2023, and as the players continue to punish Wizards and Hasbro for the decisions they made, they better come to a conclusion pretty quick about what they should do. And you know, people are going to walk the plank. There's going to be some people they're going to blame for this price sensitivity and the issues going on. But behind the scenes, they will be scrambling to try to figure how to salvage things. Because when profits go down in a major company, somebody's got to pay the piper, and some mouthpiece has to be fired to say, we did something. It's like the coach of a team. When the team does badly, even though maybe the players you're blaming, you might get rid of one or two of the players, sure, but you're getting rid of the coach because he couldn't motivate the team. He couldn't get the win in there. And the problem that Hasbro and Wizards are learning right now is they push the team of players too hard and they've given up. They're not even trying to keep up with the products anymore. They're making them, they're on the schedule, and nobody's playing it. Nobody cares. They're buying EDH singles for individual cards for decks they already own. I've seen a jump in certain reserve list cards now that the prices are coming down a bit. And this whole market is being reoriented. All because Hasbro can't listen. If it wasn't broke, why fix it? Remember that old phrase, KISS? Keep it simple, stupid. But you had to get all complex. You had to spread things out in a way that players couldn't follow anymore. You alienated your collectors and investors. The players are still here, but they're buying singles because the boxes cost too much now. Who wants to pay those prices? And I know the US is cheaper than Canada, depending on where you're buying in the world. But overall, it's still more expensive. And when you mess up my discretionary spending, I'm not going to blame the gas guy at the gas station. I'm not going to blame the grocery store clerk. I'm going to blame Wizards. Because I'm not going to go see a movie. I want to play some Magic. And now you're making it more difficult to do that. So that's who gets the blame. That's who we're going to go out after. And that's what the players are doing. I've never seen so many players banded together in conversations about the anniversary packs coming out, about the ridiculousness of proxies you can't play. And it's like a raging simmer. It just, every time it simmers down for a bit and then somebody starts talking about it and everyone jumps in on the conversation, saying how evil they are and greedy they are and how much they're boycotting their products on principle at this point. Even if they're not in a financial crunch, they refuse to do it because they're supporting their other members of the play group around them. And that is something I have not seen before. Everyone's got their own opinions, and players that don't even know each other that well are banding together to say, we're not buying it. And I wonder what will happen in this next year as things roll out. How bad is it going to get? How many players are going to avoid it? How many players are going to jump in on it? Are your play groups out there saying, we're not buying this as a group? Or as individually you're taking that principled stand saying, I'm not buying it? And we all know that people who are buying are only going for singles. These products are going to sit on shelves for years because you know they can't adjust the product run yet. It'll happen somewhere in probably Q3 of 2023. They'll actually be able to renegotiate contracts with some of the card processing places like Cardamundi and get things brought down to SKU. This is crazy stuff, guys, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's a fascinating time to be in Magic. It's not all up and amazing. The products are good. They're well put together. I had a great time playing Brothers War with all the people who were at that pre-release. Even though the numbers of people at the pre-releases were lower, it was still a good time. And players enjoyed what they were doing. But any conversation that went on longer than 5 minutes started a hate fest on Hasbro. And of course, that trended down toward Wizards and people like Mark Rosewater. Crazy stuff, guys. So let's see what happens in the next 90 days as Brothers War comes out, gets flushed into the system, and see how the set actually turns out, and see how many people go after the singles. And do the singles start going up because less boxes are being opened? It can turn the market upside down in the long run when you're looking at the financial side of things. It can cause a whole other series of problems to happen if it only goes singles and no boxes are open. Crazy stuff out there. And I'll be here to talk to you guys about it. I can't wait to see the comments in the comments section about this. And we're going to have this kind of group discussion again, I'm sure, to see what's going on out there. So thank you very much, guys. Thanks for being here on the channel. Thanks for tuning in every day to see what's going on out there and, putting those comments out for me so I can read and get a real feel for how people are doing things. Guys, I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow. Have an awesome day in the world of Magic, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. And of course, to all these patrons out there who support me each and every day, you guys are awesome, man. Hope you're enjoying the Brother War, guys, because without the patrons, we'd be nothing. Thanks again, everyone. So we're at the end of the video, and I appreciate you all being here. because you're the ones who are special. You made it to the end. And I have to say, I did very well at my pre-releases, by the way. For those of you who care to know, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. I know. Different decks each time, although I played Mishra every time. I took the Mishra decks. Mini Mox did okay. He had really good decks. He just didn't seem to get any of his big bomby creatures out to deal with some of the stuff other people had. But man, it was a lot of fun. I basically, every time after I saw my first deck, I went anti-artifacting. Everything I could find. I was 4-color decks almost every game because I was finding ways of blowing up people's artifacts. And it worked, so I kept doing it each time. As much as I could mix in things that gave indestructible or destroyed things, that's what I went with. Even, I don't care how many colors it took. That's what I did to win. I know it sounds so cheesy, doesn't it? But you have to win sometimes. It's a pre-release. You got to have some fun. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you guys are okay with what's going on. You know, it's a crazy world out there. I know a lot of you are sticking to singles, and that's cool. I understand how it goes. I'm doing the same thing myself. I'll show you some of the singles I bought when I picked them up this week. Or when they get delivered to me in the mail, whatever. Like, they're in the mail. They're coming. All right, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for being here, man. You're the special people who make it to the end. Put that boomstick in the comment section so I know. And if you're new to making it to the end of my videos, boomstick. That's right, man. Put the boomstick in the comment section. That's how I know things. I know.